Hello everyone, this is Ashish and welcome back to Torq 4712, and today we are going to focus on a very interesting, important, almost essential topic for every aspirant, every student, everyone who is in academic field, everyone who wants to learn in general. Today we are going to talk about the Pomodoro technique. Everyone tells you how much to study. Everyone tells you that you should be spending hours and hours, you should be working very hard. But we have all been in those situations where we watch a motivational video, we are so motivated, we have sat down for the last 4 hours continuously studying, but at the end of those 4 hours, we feel like we did not actually study that much. We studied somewhere around 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Why do we feel that? Is your brain trying to fool you, or you fooled yourself for the last 4 hours? Maybe over here quality has to be given higher importance than quantity. As always, I've come up with this very strategized method. It is not my method, obviously. It has been devised in the 1980s by Francisco Cerullo. But the reason why you do not know that person's name is because he messed up when he was naming this technique. He would have been smart if he named it something like Newton's first law, Newton's second law, Cerullo's law of how to maintain productivity. But then again, this was devised in 1980s, and in 1905, Einstein came up with theory of relativity, but Einstein became much more famous even though his name is not actually attached to the theory. Coming to the point, I made a video on Pomodoro technique around 2 years back. It is one of the highest rated or most popular video on my channel. It has already gotten somewhere around 200,000 views. But this one, I'm going to clear a lot of your problems because that video left a lot of questions. Questions like this technique is not applicable over here, so this technique is wrong. I'm going to clear out misconceptions, and like any other method or technique, this method also has its limitation. It is devised to be used at a particular place. For example, memory palace technique is used to memorize paragraphs and long stories, and it is used to memorize it to the point, but it is not used to memorize formulas. Like that also, this technique of Pomodoro technique is also having some limitations, and you should be knowing your disadvantages just as good as your advantages to actually act properly. Now coming to the important question, why is it actually required? The requirement of Pomodoro techniques originates because of our human inability or our brain's inability to concentrate at a particular thing for long duration of time. And when I say long duration of time, let us quantify that. How much amount do you think of pause do you need, or how much seconds or minutes or hours do you need to lose concentration from something that you want to concentrate on? You really want to know the answer? That pause was not even 2 seconds and your brain already started thinking about something else. That's how fast your brain works. Your brain is a very good asset, but it is very difficult to control it. But obviously, we cannot stop our work after every 2 seconds, or no work can be done in just 2 seconds or 3 seconds for which your brain actually has the concentration. We see the concentration to drastically drop after somewhere around 20 to 25 minutes. And that is the origination of Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro technique says that we are going to work, we are going to study, we are going to absorb knowledge for somewhere around 20 to 25 minutes. And then we are going to give ourselves a break. But this break is tricky. It is not going to be any long break. You're not going to work for 25 minutes and then you're going to rest for 25 minutes. That's a waste of time. You're going to work or absorb knowledge for somewhere around 25 minutes, and then you are going to just take a break of 5 minutes. And then again, you're going to work for 25 minutes, take a break for 5 minutes. These 25 minutes are called Pomodoro sessions. You are going to have 4 Pomodoro sessions, which will comprise of 2 hours of you working with 3 breaks in between that. And then after the 4th session, you're going to give yourself a long 15 minutes of break. Now, what are you going to do in these breaks? Those are the questions. But first, let us understand the limitations of Pomodoro technique, because I've already had enough questions from my last video. The most frequently asked question is that what happens when we are trying to apply it to our examinations? Because most of the people who are in academic field gives examination on regular basis, and they think that if we are studying like this, that we are studying for 25 minutes, then we are taking 5-minute breaks, our brain will be trained like that, and in examination also we'll be expecting something like that. Well, that is not the case. You have to understand the difference between absorbing information and utilizing the information that is already in your brain. So what happens during an examination is that you're utilizing the information that is already in your head, you're executing. Trust me, that is way easier than absorbing information. Your brain really has to work way harder to absorb something that it has never seen before. So to give your brain a little bit of comfort when you're trying to learn something new, at that time, it requires some frequent rests at required number of intervals. So that interval itself, 25 minutes and the 5-minute breaks, those are flexible. I'm going to talk about that at the end as well. But during the examination, you do need to work continuously, but also over there, I've given sufficient examinations in my time of academics as well. And over there also, your brain will require some fluctuation. For example, if you are appearing in GATE examination, first, let us say 1 hour, you're going to solve technical questions. After that, I always used to do this, that I used to go to the aptitude part. That will give a little bit of fluctuation to your brain, giving different kind of things. It does not become that much monotonous. So in examination, things are to be dealt in a different manner, but you are going to keep your efficiency to the maximum if you are giving yourself small short breaks in a frequent basis. So your efficiency in general, if you're studying continuously, it will drop like this. There's no argument in that. Your efficiency will drop as it keeps on working. But if you give yourself break, it will go down, then it will bump up again. It will go down and it will bump up again. So basically when it comes to time, you're wasting only somewhere around 15 minutes, but the rest of the time that you're utilizing, 25 into 4, that is solid and that is acquired properly. And the information that you're studying, that is going to stay in your head. So if you are going to study something in a way that you are going to apply it in future, this technique is the best. Now I understand completely the argument that what are we going to do in the examination. You have to understand that two different forms of knowledge. One is absorbing knowledge and the second one is executing knowledge. Now I understand executing knowledge is also not that easy. It requires your brain also. And over there, if the time is limited, then you need to utilize as much time as possible. I've talked about fluctuation. I'm going to talk about that in some other video as well. But what I'm saying is that you have to train yourself for both. So when you're absorbing knowledge, you're going to use Pomodoro technique. And when you are executing knowledge, finally, it is not like ultimately you're going to sit in the examination, or before that you will not give any examination. You'll keep on giving test series, and over there you can practice continuously working your brain, applying the knowledge that is in your brain for continuous, let us say 3 hours. So you have to train your brain in both manner, for absorbing information and for executing information, and both has to be done in the most efficient manner. And for absorbing information, there is no doubt, there is century of proof that Pomodoro technique is the best method. So we have come to an agreement that Pomodoro technique is for learning information, for learning new things, to acquire a new skill. These days, everything is possible to be learned online. I have a degree in mechanical engineering. I never went to a film school. How do I have the ability to make high quality videos? Because I learned it. I learned it online. And these days, almost everything that you want to learn, there are resources available for you online. Ladies and gentlemen, this video has been sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform where millions of people are there learning new things. You can also acquire a new skill over there. I first tried Skillshare around a year ago to become better at public speaking, to improve and enhance my speaking skills. And I got a lot of information over there. There are people who have been like teaching for 15 years, teaching you about how to improve public speaking. The one course that I particularly liked was by Alex Leon, how to open and close a presentation like a boss. And there he talks properly about how to start your speech and how to properly end it, because the starting and the ending has the maximum impact on the audience that you're talking to. I enjoyed that, and since then I've given 7 different seminars. My highest crowd was 300 people. Helped me a lot, so I learned something online and used it offline. Other than that, the first time I ever heard anyone talking about Pomodoro technique, it was Thomas Frank. He's a very famous YouTuber. Also, he has a course at Skillshare, 100% on productivity. It is a masterclass on productivity, and I'm enjoying that course as well. Skillshare is a great platform, and the first 1,000 people who is going to go over there using the link down in the description box is going to get a free trial. So go and try it. Anyways, it is costing less than $10 every month if you take the annual subscription. And it is a great opportunity for you guys to learn more and more, grasp information, and use my Pomodoro, not my Pomodoro technique, Francisco Cirillo's Pomodoro technique, if you want to use the maximum efficiency. All right, now we are going to focus on 2 things. Number 1, flexibility with Pomodoro technique. And the second one, what are you going to do in those breaks? Now, Pomodoro technique does not tell you that right after 25 minutes you need to get up and take a 5-minute break, and right after 5-minute break you need to get back. So things do not work like that. There are a lot of variables that are coming into the picture. The amount of work that you've done throughout the day will decide how much tired you are, will decide the concentration level. So sometimes you might be able to concentrate for longer than 25 minutes, let us say 40 minutes, 50 minutes, but beyond 50 minutes I'm not going to suggest. See, that is the thing. Most people work for straight up 1 hour or 2 hours and then take a break of, let us say, 1 hour more. So they are, number one, not working efficiently, and they are actually utilizing more time for their rest and recovery or refreshment. So do it properly to get the maximum output. Sometimes your brain will be extremely tired. Let us say you ran for 3 kilometers in the morning, then you worked for 8 hours, and now you're trying to learn a new skill. Over there, your brain will be so tired that sometimes it will be even difficult for you to concentrate for 15 minutes. No problem. 15 minutes you concentrate at a work, and then 5 minutes you take a break. And sometimes you will have to take a longer break. But if you're very fresh, let us say morning 4 o'clock you woke up, you are having the freshest brain possible. If already you are having the experience of waking up early in the morning, you're fresh, everything is very quiet, you are having high concentration, maybe you will be able to go for like straight up 50 minutes. You are working very properly, efficiently, learning things properly, and then you give yourself 5-minute break. Maybe it is done in just 3 minutes. So it is flexible. That's what I'm saying. There are various apps that you can use to monitor your clock. There's a very famous app called Clockwork Tomato. Other apps I'm going to be listing down in the description box, but you can do it by any timer that is present in your cell phone as well. Or you can use just a clock like this and you can just time yourself properly. The only thing with these Pomodoro Technique apps is that they are going to have a timer after every 25 minutes, things like that. And you can turn off that timer if you want to study more, or you can take a break earlier also if you want to take a break over there. Now, the second thing, what are you going to do in those breaks? Now, obviously don't go and play video games in those 5 minutes of break. These 5 minutes of breaks are devised for giving rest to your brain. You want to give proper rest to your brain so that it recovers, and then the efficiency is higher again. So when you are getting tired because of grasping new and new information, you don't want it to get more tired during those 5-minute break. What I used to do, I used to just sit down, lie down, listen to some music or that. Or you can even go and respond to some of the emails, messages or phone calls. Why? Because in those 25 minutes of Pomodoro sessions, you are going to have your cell phone in either mute mode or airplane mode, because you don't want any disturbance. That is what I'm talking about. High quality concentration for those 25 minutes, and then you can let it all go. So for in that 5 minutes, you can respond to all those things and then get back to the airplane mode or silent mode and get back to working. So I don't want any distractions when I'm working. So you can listen to songs, you can go through your cell phone, but keeping the primary importance, giving the primary importance to resting your brain. After 4 sessions, you will be having 15 minutes of break. You can go and take a walk and anything that you want to do. But then again, you can continue the session again for 2 more hours. So that's about it, guys. I hope you learned a lot. This skill is very, very important for you to learn new things, for you to study in general. Study efficiently, work hard, but work smart as well. And these are the techniques that I started to discover after I had subsequent failures in competitive examination. Then I found out that you cannot really work harder than 16 hours every day. After some point, you have to start working smarter. So that's about it. Thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. The link is down in the description box if you want to check it over there. The first 1,000 people are going to get free trial. I'm going to end this video over here. I'll see all of you in the next one. Till then, bye.